Alright, final episode of Claire's Ace scenario, Resident Evil 2, knife only. All that is left to do is to collect the antidote for Sherry, find a way out and defeat the final boss. But the final sections are the hardest to get through, as you would expect, and unfortunately I start this episode off with a mistake, in the sense that I take an unnecessary hit in the lab. Because the enemy placement is a little bit different the second time you come here. Now first there's a zombie directly behind the door, so move immediately left to avoid it. Then get to the top left corner of the room and wait for another zombie to approach you until you have enough room to grab the keycard. Now when you go back, the first time running straight to the door is not safe, as you will see, as the zombie outside of the lab tends to follow you. But the second time you get here, he's almost guaranteed to stay in place. So that's why I made this mistake, so just keep that in mind. First time the door is not safe, second time the door is safe. I don't know why that is, but you will see this later on when we get back here.
Annette!
You killed William. I'll never forgive you for that.
Wait!
I've just prepared a sample of the G-Virus. And this time, no one will take it from me. This is the most significant piece of research my husband has ever left in my hands.
Stop it! Sherry's in serious trouble. William implanted her with his embryos. There's no telling when they'll pupate. And if that happens, then Sherry won't...
What? William... You're alive. William is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts off. Sherry!
Tell me what I need to know. How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information. Everything you need to know to prepare the antidote is right here. Save my daughter. And tell her I'm sorry I wasn't a better mother. Tell her I love her. Sherry.
Annette!
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Okay, not sure why Annette actually blamed us for supposedly killing William, when she herself said that it was already too late to save him, that he had no humanity left. But anyway, she did give us the means to save her daughter, so now we need to collect the stuff required for the antidote, together with the disc to unlock the emergency exit. Once we have all of that, we need to get back to the lab to actually make the antidote.
Leon, we made it!
Claire, is that you? Where are you?
I can see you on the monitor. But never mind that right now. Leon, you have to go back and get Sherry from me. I left her in the security office. Please, you must save her.
Wait a second. What are you gonna do? Where are you going?
I still have a few loose ends to take care of. I'm counting on you.
Alright, nice to see some extra interaction between Claire and Leon. At least in the canon scenario order, Sherry's appearance doesn't come completely out of nowhere for Leon. Ironically, that's not how I originally played the game back in the day. Leon A, Claire B is how I played it back in 98 or 99. Anyway, we have to go past the free lickers again, so just focus on dodging the first two and basically just accept taking hit from the one blocking your path in the narrow corridor. As you saw, there are actually herbs on the floor, but those are easier to pick up when we get back, because then the lickers are replaced with regular zombie enemies. There's a single plant to the left here, so run to the other side to avoid the acid, and then stick against the wall to avoid the plant itself. If you get too close to it, it will grab you. Okay, this room is a complete clusterfuck. There's almost no room to move around and it's completely filled with zombies. So don't expect to do it without taking a hit. Just try to minimize the damage. First, immediately grab the vaccine card, then place it in the computer on the right of the first zombie. Now immediately run to the left to push the light switch. And once the light comes on, move back to the left of the door and wait until there is at least some space available to move to the back of the room. Hopefully the zombies will have gathered into a line. There's one final zombie in the back. I just say fuck it, if it bites me, it bites me. Just grab the disc and activate the machine as quickly as you can before the other zombies gang up on you. Actually, I acted way too slow here, as you can see. Remember that when a zombie grabs you, you can push it away and that can knock other zombies over. Then move back to the computer and pick up the base vaccine. Once we have that, we need to move all the way back to the laboratory where we got the keycard. Alright, now the lickers are gone, but they are replaced with a whole horde of zombies and there's virtually no space to avoid them. Fortunately, as I said before, there are herbs on the ground and this will be the time to pick them up. Well, at least one of them. The camera angle is rather awkward though. Okay, now I do this weird zigzag move, because I want to get to the computer so I can already unlock the emergency exit. That way we can immediately go through when we get back in this room for the last time. This is the final stretch of the game. We only need to use the base vaccine in the laboratory, and then once we leave through the emergency exit, we have our final encounter with William Birkin. Well, at least as far as the A scenario is concerned, of course. Alright, so now you can basically move through the lab the same as before, but this time the first zombie will stay in place and just face the wall. Again, I don't know why that is, but it does mean that he's no obstacle this time when you go back out through the door. Okay then, time to save the game one final time. And make sure you have some healing items ready. Because the final boss is no pushover. And just like the alligator boss, he is a lot more predictable and consistent in the original Japanese version, Biohazard 2. Moreover, we have to deal with a time limit. So for his first phase, I am actually going to tank all of his hits just to get him to his second phase as quickly as possible. Okay, this is one fight where I switch to C-type controls, because the auto-aim helps greatly when the boss is behind you, which is actually what you want in the second phase of the fight.
5 minutes until detonation.
Now as I said, I am simply going to tank all of the hits of the first phase, just to get through it as fast as I can. But make sure you move to his left side first, because the corner is where you want the second phase to start. You will see why that is in a minute. He actually doesn't do as much damage as you would think in his first phase. So you only need to heal after he attacked you 3 times. Just keep stabbing until he transforms. Okay, his second phase. Now the fight becomes really tricky. And it's also very RNG heavy. Because the boss can just do whatever he wants, even when you try to manipulate his movements. Again, the Japanese version is way more consistent in this respect. So the way this works is that he will jump a lot, and you want to manipulate how he jumps. And the way you avoid him jumping straight upon you is that you start running as soon as you see him doing this ducking motion, indicating that he's going to jump. Then you want to stay in front of him, barely out of his reach, because that will trigger him to jump over you. Again, to avoid getting hit, you need to run exactly when this jumping animation starts, that ducking motion so to say. And the reason it helps to stay in the top of the screen is because he will clip into the wall for some reason when he jumps, making it far less likely that you will take a hit. It also keeps the camera angle somewhat steady at least, as any wall does the same, but on the sides the camera is absolutely terrible, as you will see. When you are attacking him, it's best to stick to his sides, because being directly behind him might trigger him to turn around. And if you are directly in front of him and too close, then he can attack you or even eat you. And if you're not at full health, or at least almost at full health, when he eats you, that will actually kill you. The annoying thing is that he can jump on those platforms, or whatever you want to call them, and he can actually keep alternating between them, which wastes time. And it means that he can move off screen, and when he jumps down when off screen, you are pretty much fucked, because he will just gallop all over your ass. There is no way to defend against that. So the difficulty here is that you need to stay in front of him to trigger him to jump over you, but you can't be too close, and you actually want to stick to his sides when attacking, at least whenever that's possible. So together with the camera angles, the RNG involved when he's upon the platforms, the fact that you cannot defend yourself when he jumps down off screen, it really makes this fight a massive clusterfuck. So it requires a lot of practice and definitely a bit of luck as well. And of course keep a very close eye on your health, because again, your life doesn't have to be red in order to die when he tries to eat you. And ultimately, you cannot be too careful either because of the time limit. If the boss just happens to spend too much time upon the platforms, there's just barely enough time to hit him enough to take him out. But it all can be done. Be persistent. And that's it. That's how you can make it through Resident Evil 2 with only a knife. At least as far as scenario A is concerned. I will likely cover Leon's scenario B as well before the release of the remake. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you all for watching.
Sherry's unconscious.
I have the antidote, if I give it to her.
Claire, what's happening?
Not now. Come on, Sherry, wake up. Wake up. Please wake up. Claire? Where am I?
It worked!
Oh, Sherry, you're gonna be okay. Thanks, Claire.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
Ah, my God has protected you. It will always be with you. Claire. Sherry.
Ve por la paellera, venga, que las 2 de la tarde ya están aquí. Miren, bañador, en las chanclas, todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme las chanclas y el bañador. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea. Jesús. Jesús. Había subido la marea y encontré una paella. Y la encontré porque estaba la paellera agarrada metida entre las piedras de Chipiona del faro. Y cuando entro en el restaurante me ve el cocinero con una paellera y a ver toda la vez de paellera. Cualquiera estaba donde está la paellera, ¿sabes? A lo mejor está en el barco ese del petróleo.
En el Prestige.
En el Petriense. Y ya no trabajé más la cocina. Ya aborrecí la cocina. Ay, ay, ay.